Hello. Today we will be talking. Excuse me. Hello. I'm in the middle of a speech right now. I will call you back later. Thank you. You have a good day too. Please pardon me for the interruption. But today's message to you is to not allow the use of cell phones, tablets, computers to just rob us of our social mobility. And what I mean by social mobility, our ability to relate to people in a relationship manner that's not through the phone, through the internet, through a tablet, through text messaging, but one to one. There is a decreased mobility in young adults, kids, just all of us are spending too much time on the cell phone or laptop or computer. But mainly the use of cell phones rob us of so much social mobility because we can explain our anger with someone through the phone, and we can also text our anger, text messaging. But that's not what life should be about. I'm going to give you a brief history of the cell phone use, which started in the 1950s, but it really took off in the 1990s. And today, as of count, it's a $216 billion industry. And there are more than 4.7 billion cell phones in use, which we only have like maybe 6.8 billion people on planet Earth. That just shows you the impact of cell phones. But cell phones can impact our lives in a negative and a positive way. A positive manner of how it affects our lives, it gives us the ability to communicate quickly with people, to communicate emergency situations. And for parents that have kids, it helps us to keep up with our children and to locate them, and for them to stay in contact with us. But cell phones uses have taken on a whole different manner and style, not intended for the use, like cyberbullying. Today, there's an increased amount of cyberbullying going on, where there is pictures shown of people that should have been private. There's texting mean things in a social manner, and now once it hits the social media, it's blasted. Thousands of people can see things that are disturbing or can hear things that are disturbing in our lives and even in our personal lives. There's been an increased amount of car fatalities by the use of cell phones. People talking on the phone, not paying attention. And once you get into a conversation, all the things that are around you become less important, which this is very dangerous. I had a classmate of mine that actually tried to answer a call, and when she did, she let her foot off the brake, and the car rolled into oncoming traffic, and she lost her life. I don't want that to happen to us because God didn't create us for that, actually. Man came up with the use of cell phones, which is not a bad thing, but too much of anything can be bad. What I also want to talk to you about is not just cyberbullying that's going on, but the psychological and physiological effects of the use of cell phones. Um, Cell phones should be used in a balanced fashion. And when we don't use it in a balanced fashion, it affects us. It affects our sleep. It affects our mental ability to concentrate. And what I mean by our ability to concentrate, we stay wired up. We become the cell phone because we're so used to having it. And even to the extent that charging and having your cell phone available is more important than anything now because you feel like people will have to always stay in connection and communication with you. And it never allows you to slow down at all. And and that robs us of our social mobility, and that's our ability to relate to one another. That means that our ability to conversate in a nice and fashionable and respectable manner It's almost gone. Many of the older generation understand what I'm talking about, but the young generation in the use of the media and cell phone usage is gotten out of hand. Just last week, a young girl killed herself. She was only 14 years old because someone was texting mean things to all her friends, and it was a lie. It wasn't the truth, but you can see where I'm going with this. But it's not such a bad thing, but too much of anything is too much. Even the expense of having and keeping a cell phone on is tremendous. There's prepaid accounts, but there's contracts too. And it's a $216 billion industry. And guess what? You and I both buy into that because we always have to be able to communicate with someone. Now, I understand that a lot of cell phone uses may be tied to your job or whatever, but when it comes to you having family time, you need to limit that. You need to put that on hold. We do not need to allow it to become the bargaining between you and your child or you and a friend. I'll text you later or I'll call you later. Let's just go and visit the people we love because we don't know how long we have on this earth. And it's so important to spend time with family because after everything is said and done and you don't have a cell phone, you realize that you're still living. You're still making it. So the cell phone is not your life. It becomes our God. And God does not like to share with any other God. Even the Bible talks about anything that you put more emphasis into becomes idolatry. And that is something that we don't want. So I implore you to limit your media use of tablets, laptops, or more so cell phones. So let's get to relating to one another like God planned it to be. And I thank you for allowing me to have this brief moment to share with you. Thank you.